Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Okay, so this is one of the most common questions that I get with women who struggle with dark circles, purpleness underneath their eyes. So today I'm going to show you how you can correctly color correct underneath your eyes. There's obviously other ways you can do it for like melasma and all that other stuff. So I just put a little bit of purple eyeshadow underneath because I don't have super dark purple eyes. I have more of the sacs. So I wanted to show you guys, this was like 3 or 4 questions that I got last week. So I want to make sure that I'm properly explaining it. Okay. So let's see here. That's one of them. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the questions here. Can you tell me how to color correct underneath my eyes? Okay, yeah. So when you're looking at color correction, I know this was like a really purple. The purple that I used was like a bright purple. Sorry guys, I have my charger in. So the purple that I used was this purple right in here. So it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of bright. Okay, so there's going to be different ways that you can color correct with either redness or purpleness or melasma. They're all different things. So when somebody says to me, I need a color correction for everything, I'm kind of like, you can't do that. It's not an all for one for all, because the color of melasma is completely different than the color of purple. The color of purple is completely different color of the color red, right? So dark circles could be a darker black color, they could be a gray color, and they can be a purple color. Hi, Rebecca. Purpleness underneath the eyes, dark circles underneath the eyes can be completely so many different things. Everybody is completely different when it comes to, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, when it comes to dark circles. So like I said, I just put some purple eyeshadow, more like a lily color underneath there. So if you go back to like the color wheel, hi Jenny, you can remember how you have your complementary colors and you have your, your core colors. So you have to cancel out colors. Okay. So across from the color wheel is it's like a salmony reddish orange. Okay. So when I'm color correcting clients, I always have to look across the wheel and look and see what exactly is it that we're color correcting. Like I said, if it's melasma, we have to color correct the brown for melasma. So we use an orangish color. We're going to also use an orangish color for that as well. If it is purple or blue, you look across and you're going to see that. So like I said, I just have some purple eyeshadow because my sacs are not that dark. I wish they were sometimes so I could do this evenly. So there's a couple different things that you could do. You can get like a color correction kit if you want to, like from the theater store or whatever. My concealer already color corrects. Now I'm going to tell you guys about these little color wheel things. They're very hard to color correct with. A, they're very thick. B, if you use the wrong color, then you can look either ashy, you can look yellow, or you can look gray with it. Okay. And so those really look, it really looks funny when you use those color correcting kits because you can use too much and then it looks funny under your foundation. If you use the green on there to color correct redness, it can make it look gray or ashy. It won't look like a natural, it won't look natural. So that's why I prefer to just use a concealer that, you see how it has a little bit of a greenish tint to it. This one has the salmony base to it. This is a lightener. This is another salmon base that you can use. And this is obviously getting into more of a contouring tanner skin. Okay. So for all my ladies out there that struggle with that, this is going to be perfect for you. Now I prefer a dome brush, some as this. I feel like when you get into like concealer brushes, similar to this, it starts to like pull the concealer with a brush similar to this. I prefer a dome brush when I'm covering dark circles on my clients or acne or melasma. Okay, so I'm going to be using this salmony base color because yes, salmon cancels out purple. So I'm going to take the salmon base with this dome brush, okay? So I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna start to cover that up. And all I'm doing is just patting. I'm just patting, okay? I'm not applying a lot of pressure. Now you can see here I have purpleness there. That's because I have glasses. So I had my glasses on all day. You can see where the imprint is. But all you're seeing is that I'm just applying that concealer lightly, just like that. Okay? That's all I did. I just had to tap that on there and it's completely gone. Okay? I'm going to go up in here too because that is a part where I do have purpleness. Okay? So do you see how that is already covered? It looks great. I missed a spot right in here. I missed that one spot. Okay. Now, after you've applied that concealer, you want to make sure you set that area. Okay. Now, this is the fine line of where a lot of people run into where they start to, sorry, my dog is barking. Where they start to, I'm trying to find my translucent powder. So this is where they start to see like the creasing as we as mature women struggle with. So don't bake, don't do any of that stuff. What I like to do is just take a blender when I'm covering that, okay? And I just like to take the blender. I don't take a lot. I just take a little bit. But then I like to take some setting spray first. And I'll take it on and put it on the back of my hand. Okay. And I'll just put a little bit on that sponge there. And so then I'm just gonna pat that on top of it. Ever so lightly. Ever so lightly. Okay. And I'm just patting that setting spray right over the top of it. Okay. That's what's so great because I see a lot of people who struggle with these color correcting wheels. Like I just had a client bring one over last weekend and she was showing me and I'm like, this is a lot of work. Like these little wheels are a lot of work. Way too much work for me. That's why I prefer a concealer with that in it already so then I don't have to worry about that. Now, we've already set this, okay? So we took the setting spray and we put that on there. We've put the translucent powder on there. So we'll let that sit just for a second. Just make sure it's good and covered, okay? So you guys saw how purple underneath my eye was. Now, can you see how, I'm just letting this sit for a second, but can you see how if you were to use that greenish color or yellow, I see a lot of people who try to put that yellow color underneath their eyes. Now, that's the other thing, purpleness, like if you're trying to cover a pimple, if you sat there and popped it, it could get purplish color to it. That type of thing. So you have to be very, very, very careful how you are applying it. So I put some of that setting spray or primer on this side because I'm going to put some foundation on so you can see the finished product. Okay. So I'm just going to take some foundation in a diffuser brush and I'm just applying the foundation on top of it. Okay. So you can see the full effect. Okay, now I love this because it is great for mature skin. It's great for not settling in your fine lines and wrinkles. That's the most reason that I like it. But I love how the concealer is so pigmented. This concealer was actually created for burn victims in Germany. And so it is meant for very big coverage. Now, those of you who are like, well, I want to lighten underneath the eye, so you can hardly even tell like anything was going on underneath that eye, right? It's not hard for it to blend in. The foundation just went right to it. It doesn't have a funny look to it. It looks perfectly fine. Now, I could use some melasma coverage up there. I'm not going to worry about it right now because we're not talking about it. But if I wanted to cover the melasma, I would just take this greenish looking color here and I would just cover that melasma right up before I put my foundation on. And then I would just take it, and do you see how that just covered it right up? Just covered it right up. It's very easy to do. And then I always just, you know, I'm going to go in and I'm going to lighten underneath the eye now, okay? Because a lot of women want to lighten it after they've done it. And this is a great trick because you don't have to use a lot. So you're going to take this lighter color right here, okay? So the salmon is for, the salmony bases are for the purpleness, the blackness. And then this is going to be for like melasma. And then this light part is going to be if you want to lighten underneath the eye. And you don't need a lot to lighten underneath the eye. You just need a little bit there and a little bit in the corner. Okay. And you're just going to take a, hey Peggy, all you're going to do is just take a blender. And then there you go, it's lightened underneath the eye. If you feel like you want more, you can always do more. I always start out lighter when it comes to lightening underneath the eye, because I don't need tons to lighten underneath the eye. Okay. So you can completely see how it just kind of lifted the face. Like I said, you can go in, you can do tons more lightening if you want to. I know some people who do like a whole strip and then they lighten it. It's totally a personal choice. But do you see how it completely covered that purpleness? You're not getting any grayish hues. You're not getting any yellowish hues. You're not getting anything of that absurd color. And you absolutely don't have to use any absurd color correcting wheels like my girlfriend used the other day. So I always finish up with setting the face. You always want to set your face with a translucent powder. If you're not familiar with what a translucent powder is, not all translucent powders are made the same because some of them do have flashback. And if you know what flashback is in the movie and theater industry, it means that it'll flash back and give you almost like a whitish hue on your makeup. And so you don't want that. Okay. And so this does not give flashback. And then I always, when I'm color correcting a purpleness or dark circle or melasma or redness, I always finish up with my 10 years and younger spray because this stuff will last up to 16 hours. It locks it. It's very similar to Skin Diva, but it's more powerful. It's by the makers of Skin Diva, but this is actually a paraben-free formula, but there's a patent on it where it actually has a temperature control patent. So as your body heat rises, these little microbes in there actually collect the sweat, the oil, prevents it from smearing, prevents it from creasing, prevents it from rubbing off. It locks it in place, which is super important as mature women. We have to keep that settled on our skin without it removing. So this stuff is a lifesaver, not only in the set, but also for daily use. So that's how I color correct. If you can look here, you can see like I have really low baggy eyes. You can see how the concealer just totally lifted it, and I just look so much more younger on this side with just a few easy steps. And I could have color corrected the redness here because I have really rosy cheeks. I don't have rosacea, I just have rosy cheeks from being outside. But you can see how well the foundation covers it. However, we did need to cover that purpleness because the eyeshadow was pretty purple that I put underneath there. So if you struggle with dark circles underneath your eyes, make sure you comment down below. I will send you a step-by-step guide on how to cover this so you don't have to remember how to do all this. So if you're watching for the first time, I'm Crystal Spink, and let me know where you're from. So don't forget to hit the follow button. You'll see me every day, 5 to 6, with these great tips and tricks. So I'll see you guys later.